Something that she said that was really interesting to me was when she said that she feels like she's never fit into any culture.
I don't fit in white spaces, but I don't fit in black spaces either.
I just found that to be really laughable. Amber, like your entire rise to fame was literally off of dating black men. Like, who black men chooses to center and pour in love somehow is also who we as black people pour in love as well. So to say that you've never fit in, it's manipulative.
Sometimes it don't make no sense. Does it really have to? There is nothing I can say.
Hi, welcome to Mayowa's World. Hi y'all, my name is Mayowa. It's been a while since I've made a video. I have been busy. I have a panel in Berlin next weekend, so I've been like preparing for that. So I wanted to try and make a video as quick and concise as possible. So today's video is going to be about the ways in which Amber Rose weaponizes her mixed race heritage against black people. So for those who are new, Amber Rose is an entertainer that has been kind of publicly famous for over a decade. Her first rise to fame was off of dating Kanye West back in like 2008 or something like this. And she really was a fashion it girl. So Amber Rose, if you don't know, is of mixed race heritage, but she is presenting as a white woman, I think, to most people. So Amber Rose has also like said on many occasions that she does not identify as black, but there is still a big push to claim Amber Rose as black, which I feel like I've made a lot of videos about why we do that, and it's really off of desirability. I feel like if you are a very, very desirable woman, particularly, people want to claim you as black because it justifies their attraction to people who aren't black. But that's a conversation for another day. Before y'all start coming for me and saying that I am invalidating someone's experience, here is footage of Amber Rose literally saying she is not black. Also, Amber Rose has a white father and a mother who is half black and half white. So she has a mixed race mother and a white father. She is 75% white.
I checked the black box, but that's also because I was raised by a black father who was very pro-black and was like, yo,
see, I check
black,
other.
B.
I do not consider myself a black woman.
But also having to do the breakdown of someone's heritage is actually really annoying because race is how you are read. So if you are perceived as white, then you are white. If you are perceived as black, you are black. Obviously, there's a lot of nuances within that, but race is literally how people are perceiving you. Like a black experience is an experience of being perceived as black. So recently on College Hill, which is a show off of BET, they have a reboot of it and Amber Rose is entertainers on that show. There was a fight that like was really going viral all over social media showing Amber Rose putting her hands on Jocelyn. So Jocelyn's very funny and I feel like, you know, she will say things and she'll just say it very bluntly, but but Jocelyn had made a comment saying essentially like F European standards of beauty, like F wanting to be white. And she was saying this while attending a historically black university. But yeah, Jocelyn was like F European standards of beauty. And then Amber Rose, I guess that triggers Amber Rose because Amber is like, I am 75% white. So like, why are you saying F white people? And she physically attacks Jocelyn.
Traditional Western beauty sucks. I hate to say it for the whitey whites.
Ooh, Jocelyn.
Oh, we ain't got no white people. Nah. Just Amber, we got a little white person in here, but she's mixed though. I have the freedom of speech to say that black folks is a little bit cuter than the white people. Okay. I mean, if you don't like that, then you need to go and rewrite your constitution.
Can't let nobody bully me like that. I refuse. I don't let my family bully me like that.
There she go. Cry baby, cry baby, cry baby.
So I want to talk about this, but I also want to pull in the parallels of how this isn't exclusive to the TV show, but there's a lot of labor that often falls on black women, black non-men to be teaching biracial people and like validating biracial people's experiences. After the show came out, a lot of people I saw online were having compassion for Amber Rose and saying, you know, she was pushed to the limits, which I also feel like, you know, who is giving compassion is very interesting because she literally physically assaulted somebody. But of course, because Amber Rose benefits from desirability, Amber Rose benefits from, you know, being white, people are going to have a lot of space for Amber Rose. And you know, something that she said that was really interesting to me was when she said that she feels like she's never fit into any culture, like she's never been embraced by black people, and she's also like never been embraced by white people.
I don't fit in white spaces, but I don't fit in black spaces either.
I just found that to be really laughable because Amber, like your entire like rise to fame was literally off of dating black men. Like there was so many jokes about you only dating black men. Like your public history of who you date is only black people. Like I heard of you because I watch black media. I don't know if white people are checking for you like that. You've made your money in black spaces. You've made it clear that you're in black spaces. Like you were in black music videos. You were in black, you're on BET. That literally stands for Black Entertainment. I know it's not owned by black people. Maybe it is now, but at some point it wasn't. But you're literally on BET. And I want to talk about that because something I think is really interesting is like, I feel like a lot, like an overload of content is always around biracial people's identities of not feeling like they're fit in. Like there's been so much content around that to the point where people think the black experience is literally a biracial experience of not fitting in within black people. There are a lot of people who are black who can never be anything else but black, but those experiences will never be talked about because it will always be centered by a light or a white person in the black community screaming and crying about how they don't feel like they fit in. But what I wanted to say about Ambrose particularly is like being desired by black men, like being someone who is romantically desired and sexually desired and like shown as like the trophy wife or shown as the prize is like the definition of like fitting in. Because there are so many people within blackness who, once again, they have no other race they can turn to, will never have validation from black people, will never have validation, particularly from black men, because we live in a very patriarchal society. Who black men chooses to center and pour in love somehow is also who we as black people pour in love as well. So a black man literally put Amber Rose on, and then loads of black women have been supporting Amber Rose for a really long time. So to say that you've never fit in, I feel like it's something that you say to it's manipulative. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's manipulative because it's like, whatever happened to therapy, right? Whatever happened to group chats? Whatever happened to texting your best friend? Or why don't you go to your mother or go to your father and ask them about these questions? It's what happens is like these people, Amber Rose's biracial mother and white father, have some, seeming like they're having some kind of really strange race relations, right? Then you produce a child who has no ability, like doesn't have a racial analysis. She's confused, and then she expects black women to literally teach her to the point where if you're saying something about her, she's going to physically fight you because she's angry that you are not seeing her in this way. Like that rage is really giving like, I've tried to manipulate you, it's not working, so I'm gonna physically try to put my hands on you. And there's been so many situations where there's a lot of biracial people and they expect black women to like literally bow down to them and teach them about their blackness and teach them about their black hair and do the emotional labor of hearing them talk about how hard it is. Like meanwhile, being actually black, like fully black, you are likely dealing with color. If you're dark skin, you're likely dealing with colorism, you're dealing with featureism, you're dealing with texturism, you're dealing with anti-fatness. These are all things within a black experience. You're dealing with transphobia, queerphobia, homophobia. Like these are all these things within blackness that just weighs on, and it's heavy and heavy. But that's not who we center, right? We want to center people like Amber Rose's experiences. We want to center people who have the closest proximity to whiteness because we are taught to have compassion for those who have proximity to whiteness. So that's why people feel so like a heart jerk when someone like Amber Rose feels disconnected, because we are trained to like be like, oh my God, the blonde hair and the blue eyes. We can't have her be sad. Let's say I have a discussion about colorism or texturism, right? And someone says something disrespectful. If I physically lash out and I fight you, do I think that people will say, hey, it's really hard out here for dark skin? No, they will not. They will see me as the villain. Every time they will say, why did you lose physical control? You're so aggressive, you're so masculine, you're so angry. Like these are words that when you are actually black, you carry on your head all the time. You are very aware of the fact that people are always masculinizing you and seeing you as very angry. And this is how you go through the world. But people who don't live as black people don't have that same burden of knowing that they have these stereotypes always lingering over their head. Amber Rose is read as a white woman, so she can literally be aggressive, and it's just a quirky thing because her identity was, questioned or whatever, or like was made to feel like weird, so she can do that.
Being racist against a mixed person and identifying me.
So my question is, whose role is it to teach biracial people about their blackness, and why is it never black men? Why can black men like fetishize and desire mixed race and white people, and it can fit some like weird agenda of like wanting to claim them as black because it like doesn't mean that you have to question your like desires and why you are attracted to somebody with blonde hair, blue eyes. Like the fact that like I remember when Kanye was dating Amber and everyone was like, oh she's from Cape Verde. That's what they all look like in Cape Verde. There's dark skinned people in Cape Verde. I don't know. First off, that's like a erasure of, it's dark skin erasure. Second off, there are a lot of people on the continent who literally look like Amber Rose or Amber Rose's mother and would never claim black. They would never. A lot of, like, on the continent, a lot of people who are mixed race would never claim black. They're literally claiming mixed race. Some people even say they're white. So like saying that like, it's because you don't understand how things exist in Africa, or like blackness comes in many shades. So, and literally having this expectation on black non-men to literally teach mixed race people about their identity, some mixed race people identity, is a form of misogynoir, because you're expecting, non-men to do the labor. In the identity of like race, like the role of black people is often to be laborers, right? It's often to be the people who are like doing the work. So you're like actually expecting black people to do more work than any other group of people. Oh yeah. Someone on TikTok said that it's usually mixed race women who will like claim blackness and then say that black people don't accept them, and will be like the most like kind of wishy-washy of like racial politics. And I just want to say like, I don't agree with that actually. I feel like that is on misogyny, that you're thinking that the women are the only ones who are having issues within their racial identity. I think that biracial men also have these things, but it probably looks a little bit different. I think Amber Rose is no different than Logic. And we've heard what he does with his discomfort, his racial discomfort. We've seen that.
Oh yeah, I'm white. And my blood is the slave and the master.
Monoracially black people have to like exist in the world carrying usually multiple identities. If you are black and queer, if you are black and fat, if you're black and you're dark skinned, if you're black and you're dark skinned and you don't benefit from featureism, like there's so much nuances within our own identities, yet when we talk about these nuances, we are diminished. We are told to shut up. We are told we are aggressive. We're told we're angry. We're told that it's boring. I've been making content about colorism for like 6 years now, and I have relentlessly experienced people trying to silence me and tell me to shut up, to tell me that I am divisive. I have been attacked for saying this, and ultimately what I'm speaking to is literally my own lived experiences. So why is it that when it comes to speaking on blackness, we have more space for people who are mixed race than we do to actually unpack what we have in our own community? I don't feel like there's been much discussions and much movement when it comes to these like isms. I just don't. But I've seen a lot of movies on Netflix and just generally TV series that want to talk about the hardship of being mixed race. I'm not downplaying that that's an experience, but it's not my experience. And I have every right to be upset when that experience bleeds into my experience. I have every right to be upset when I am expected to do labor to explain and teach someone their blackness when no one was able to teach me my blackness. So yeah, like let me know what y'all's experiences are. I know that I've had many friends tell me about the ways they feel like they're laborers in explaining and teaching their people their blackness, especially when you have more combined intersections. I feel like if you're fat, if you're dark skinned, if you're kinky head, if you don't benefit from featureism, you're typically the person who is going to be teaching. So I would like to hear some of your experiences in the comments. If you made it to the end, let me know what you like about my outfit. I've always liked doing this at the very end. I was inspired by a butterfly, but also inspired by a content creator called Wendy's World. She is a dark-skinned person, and she just does really cool makeups with like different objects she finds in her house. So that's actually what I was doing with my makeup. And yeah, I'm wearing a skirt. I know you can't see, but this is the look. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.